Jaws of Life are a tool that is both a crowbar and a wire cutter. It is not a normal crowbar, though. Both Jaws of Life feature the unique ability to pry open any door as long as it is not bolted. And the ability to pry open a door has gotten a lot more powerful recently due to the fact that security doors and high security doors have extra layers of protection, meaning that hacking is not nearly as easy as it used to be. So, how do you get a Jaws of Life? There are Well, as I said, there are two types of Jaws of Life. There is a normal Jaws of Life and a Syndicate Jaws of Life. The way to acquire normal Jaws of Life is the Chief Engineer will spawn with one, and he will have an additional one in his tool belt. It weighs 50, it does 10 damage, and I'll just show you. By default, it is in prying mode, and there's a fairly lengthy do after in order to pry open a door, but as I said, it lets you pry open any door, regardless if you have access to it or not, and if it has power. It just cannot be bolted or welded. It can't do things like pry open lockers, unfortunately. Also, it doesn't pry the door open for long, so you have to run straight through, but that can be useful, though, because it'll close the door right behind you, and it's dead silent other than the door opening. Another way to acquire a Jaws of Life is it's under the Advanced Tools in the Tier 2 Industrial tab in Science. The Jaws of Life requires half a 0.5 gold, 3 plasma, 5 glass, and 10 steel. The Syndicate Jaws of Life is a 2 telecrystal purchase available to both nuclear operatives and syndicate agents under the Tools tab. A combined prying and cutting tool useless for entering the station or its departments. The Syndicate Jaws of Life weighs less, it does more damage, and the biggest benefit is it pries doors much faster. And it doesn't have like any... like I said, the only sound that it does is that the door opens. So it is a very, very strong purchase for 2 telecrystals. It is basically a discount infinite use EMAG for a quarter of the price. I mean, yeah, obviously you don't have the benefits of an EMAG, like you can't break open lockers with it, but it's an okay melee weapon. It lets you get anywhere very quickly, and you don't have to waste time hacking. And due to the fact you don't have to waste time hacking means that you don't need insulated gloves, you don't have to be fumbling around with UIs, you don't need to be shifting through tools. There's a lot of advantages to having an all-in-one door opening tool. I mean, if you are really inclined, you could get through several security doors in 5-10 seconds. I mean, like, this is really, really fast. It's way faster than hacking was even before the security door change. And it's quiet, so, like, if you use an EMAG, for example, everyone within a 50-mile radius knows the sound of an EMAG that plays this game, and they just want to come look for you. No one cares about the sound of a door opening, so a lot of times people won't even look. Like, in this example, I could literally just pry this door open in a few seconds, and I could, like, steal the head of security's gun. Obviously, very exaggerated. Doors being bolted will be the biggest counter to a Jaws of Life. You can't pry open a door that's bolted, and the thing is with these higher security doors, you have to basically go through the whole steps of hacking it in order to be able to unbolt it. But if for some reason the area you're trying to break into isn't a high security door like this, you could just always remember what the bolt is from previous tests, or just have insulated gloves and just unbolt it. And you don't even have to break the power, you could just go to prying it. But realistically at that point, this is only useful if you don't have insulated gloves. But if you do, then it doesn't really help you in any way. You might as well just cut the power to open it quicker. But there are times where you might not want insulated gloves, or just don't have the capability of getting them, or you just don't want to purchase them, whatever the reason is. But remember, though, security doors being bolted is a hard counter to the Jaws of Life, because that will just force you to have to hack it normally, and that basically makes the Jaws of Life null. So that's really all I got about the Jaws of Life. The Syndicate Jaws of Life, probably one of the best purchases in the game, especially for the fact that it only costs 2 telecrystals. And that's all I got. Thank you for watching.